I am so excited to share with you this painting that I've been working on for over a year. And it's my most complex painting to date. I just wanted to tell you a little bit of a story that goes with it. So I got this assignment to paint a painting of Jesus Christ for a church building. And the only specifications was that it be 3 feet by 5 feet, vertical format, and of Jesus. And I could literally do whatever I wanted with that. And I have this theme of having blindfolds in my work because I feel like I'm always walking blind, like I'm always walking by faith. So I was really drawn to the story of Christ healing the man that was born blind. I found out that his traditional name is Celidonius. I did extensive study into what it might feel like to be born blind. I watched YouTube videos and also did some research into what it was like in the first century to be blind or to be born with a handicap. And for those that don't know, you were actually considered an outcast. You were broken, not a welcome member of society. And so even though Celidonius, both of his parents are still alive, he was a beggar on the streets of Jerusalem. When you are blind, all of your other senses become heightened. So you can hear and taste and smell and touch become all really imperative to you. So what things did Celidonius hear every day growing up blind on the streets of Jerusalem? Well, probably not a lot of nice things. And one day the apostles come by and he hears, "Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" And you know Celidonius was probably like, "Tell me something I don't know. I've heard that one before." But then he hears something different. And can you imagine what he felt as Jesus Christ kneeled down next to him and said, "Neither this man nor his parents have sinned, but the works of God may be manifest." And then he picks up some dirt and he spits in his hand and he makes a little clay and he puts it on the man's eyes and tells him to go wash in the pool Siloam. He doesn't promise him sight, and he just tells him to go wash in the pool, and then he's out of there. The pool Siloam was about as far away from the Temple Mount as he could go and still be within the walls of the city of Jerusalem. And we don't know for sure if he was on the Temple Mount, but there's a good chance that he would have been, because that's where all the beggars would hang out. So Celidonius acts in faith and he goes and he washes and he can see, but Jesus isn't there. And the neighbors and everybody gets talking and they find out that this happened on the Sabbath day. And it's actually like against the law to heal somebody on the Sabbath day. And so the Pharisees, the rulers of the time, pull Celidonius in to question him. And they're like, how can you see what happened? He says, "Well, a man named Jesus came and he put mud on my eyes and he told me to go wash in the pool of Siloam, and I did, and now I can see." And so they don't believe him. They're like, "Hey, can we get this kid's parents in here?" Which tells you something, right? That both of his parents were still alive, so he probably wasn't that old. And then his parents come in and they say, "He is of age, ask him." Which means they're not helping his case at all. They say, "He's an adult, ask him, he can answer for himself." Which also tells us he probably wasn't very old, because if his parents say he is of age, it means that like, hey, he's an adult. You wouldn't question whether somebody was an adult if they were, actually an adult. That's why I painted him. My model was actually 18 years old. So his parents throw him under the bus. He gets questioned some more. And the whole time, like, Celidonius just won't back down. He's like, as the Pharisees are telling him he's a sinner and he's of the devil and you can't trust Jesus. And Celidonius is like, "Listen, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's a sinner. All I know is that I was blind and now I can see." And he knew it. He knew that, right? And he couldn't deny it. And so the Pharisees cast him out. Well, I don't know how much time passes, but word gets around to Jesus of what's happened to Celidonius. So Jesus comes to find him. And this is my favorite part of the story, because Jesus says, "Dost thou believe on the Son of God?" And Celidonius doesn't recognize him because he's never seen him before. And so he says, "Tell me who he is, Lord, that I might believe." And then Jesus says, "Thou hast both seen him," referring to the fact that he can now see, "and it is he that talketh with thee." And so then Celidonius worships the Savior. Can you imagine that embrace at the end of the story? Oh, it's so beautiful. And I had to paint this story because I feel like we are born blind. We are born and we can't see Christ, but we can hear him. And we can actually work on developing that skill to hear him. And then when he talks to us, most often he's going to give us something difficult to do. And our choice is to do it or to not. But I know that as we go and do those things that we feel impressed to do, that we will see miracles. And we might be brought into question. The world might question our motives and the things that we're doing. But I know that as we hold true to what we know, just like Celidonius, then in the end, he comes to know Jesus Christ on an even deeper level. And I really do believe that as we go and do the things that Christ asks us to do, that we come to know him better in his service. I'm going to title this painting Light of the World because before Christ anoints his eyes with clay, he declares himself the light of the world. So I hope this painting inspires you to seek to hear him and then to do the thing that he asks you to do, just like Celidonius. And that as you do those things, you'll see miracles in your life and you'll come to know Jesus Christ better.
I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.